In a mere 16 further years, Adi Shankaracharya travelled the length and breadth of India on foot at least 4 times, reviving Hinduism wherever he went. Not only that, he established the Char Dham Yatra. It is fair to say that Hinduism as it exists today would not have existed had Adi Shankaracharya not walked this country. Sanatana Vedic Dharma is the oldest religion in the world. In fact, it is so old that it's older than the word religion itself. Religion comes from the Latin root religare, which means to reintegrate oneself. How to achieve this reintegration? And how does this reintegrated person act in the world? Well, this message is given in the Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago, and this is the message that we'll be discussing today. Namaste, my name is Dhumatkar, and in this series we discuss the practical applications of the Bhagavad Gita as well as what these deep verses actually mean. In the very first section of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan discusses how one should act. And this entire section where he talks about acting without attachment to our ego, acting without selfish motive is what we know as Karma Yoga. But this Karma Yoga is difficult, and Bhagwan acknowledges this. And so in our previous video, we have gone over Bhagwan's views on why this is difficult and how one can navigate this difficulty. But one who has practiced Karma Yoga, what is their life like? Bhagwan says, Karmanya karmayah pashyed akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manusyeshu sayuktaf krutsna karma kruta. He who recognizes inaction in action and action in inaction is wise amongst men. He is a yogi and a true performer of all actions. Yogi. When Bhagwan uses this phrase, it doesn't mean one who is performing various yoga asanas or exercising using a yoga mat or undertaking various physical contortions. Yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, which is to integrate. So one who has achieved this integration is a yogi. And if religion is to reintegrate, then the way to reintegrate is yoga. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan explains that one who is a yogi, one who has achieved this reintegration, is able to see action in inaction. That is, even when they are seemingly not doing anything, they are extremely dynamic and vibrant with life. And inaction in action. When they may be acting all over the world, their inner core is steady as ever. In fact, even today, we see some of the greatest impact being made by people who are yogis rather than billionaires or national leaders. Why? Because this is a timeless secret. And one of the most beautiful examples of a yogi who is burning in knowledge and whose impact stands till even today is Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya is considered a Jnana avatar, an embodiment of the knowledge of Bhagwan Shiva himself. And some 1200 years ago, Adi Shankaracharya's father, Shiva Kumar, had a vision at the Vadakkunathan temple in Thrissur in Kerala, a temple that still exists today. And there, Bhagwan appeared to him and said to him, "You, O childless one, can have a child that lives a long life, or you can have a great spiritual master who will come and only live a short life. Which would you prefer?" The pious Shiva Kumar, blessed with the darshan of Bhagwan, asked for a great spiritual luminary. At the same time, Adi Shankaracharya's mother, Aryamba, too had a vision where Bhagwan appeared and she too made the same choice. And so in due course, Adi Shankaracharya was born in the small village of Velianad in his mother's ancestral home and grew up in his father's home in Kaladi in Kerala. Unfortunately, Adi Shankaracharya's father passed away when he was very young, and the mother, taking sole care of this young boy, one day found him wanting to take sannyas. As was then the tradition and continues to be today, before one can take sannyas, they have to take the permission and the blessings of their parent. This Aryamba was unwilling to do. At that time, in the Purna river, when he was performing his morning prayers, a crocodile came and caught his leg. And so, screaming in terror, his mother Aryamba saw this young boy about to be devoured by a crocodile. At that time, what did the boy ask? Not to save him, not to ask for help, but he said to his mother, "Oh mother, in my last moments, give me permission to take sannyas so I may pass as a sannyasi." In those moments, his mother gave him her permission, and promptly the crocodile left the young boy alone, and Adi Shankaracharya was on his way, having received permission from his mother. At the age of 8, he met his guru, and between the ages of 8 and 16, Adi Shankaracharya not only learnt everything that there was to learn in the Vedas, but wrote advanced commentaries on the 3 principal categories of texts in Vedanta, which are the Upanishads, the Brahmasutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. And at age 16, this Jnana avatar of Shiva was tested by Ved Vyas, who is none other than the Jnana avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu. And in this great spiritual debate that lasted for 8 days, not only did Adi Shankaracharya convince Ved Vyas of his ideals, but also Ved Vyas blessed this young boy to live for another 16 years and spread this message of Vedanta. And so when Bhagwan says that a yogi is a true performer of all actions, this example is seen in the subsequent life of Adi Shankaracharya. In a mere 16 further years, Adi Shankaracharya travelled the length and breadth of India on foot at least 4 times, reviving Hinduism wherever he went. He wrote innumerable further commentaries, innumerable further texts. He composed hymns to all of the deities that we chant even today. He re-established Bhagwan Vishnu at the Himalayan center of Badrinath, rescuing his Parthiv Murti that had been immersed in the tank nearby. Not only that, he established the Char Dham Yatra, Badrinath, Dwarka, Puri and Rameshwaram, that we continue as Hindus to follow today. Adi Shankaracharya established the 4 principal mathas, whose unbroken lineage of Shankaracharyas continues still today, in addition to various mathas all over the country. At the Pashupatinath temple in Nepal, he sent priests from South India. In temples in South India, he called priests from Uttarakhand, fostering a sense of unity across this entire nation. Where Hindus were worshipping their ancestors or where they were worshipping any deity as Bhagwan, Adi Shankaracharya established Shanmata that says that Bhagwan takes 6 forms and 6 forms alone: Vishnu, Shiva, Adi Parashakti, Ganapati, Skanda and Surya. In addition to these 6 forms, this Shanmata, he established the Panchayatan form of worship. But perhaps the single greatest impact that Adi Shankaracharya had was how he spread the message of Advaita Vedanta, the non-dual, indivisible truth that is the reality not just of Hinduism but of all of our lives. And this impact that Adi Shankaracharya had made sure that even all of the acharyas who disagreed with him used his commentary and his position as their frame of reference. It is fair to say that Hinduism as it exists today would not have existed had Adi Shankaracharya not walked this country. One yogi making such a great impact. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan goes on to say, Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanadik dagda karmanam tamahuf panditam buddha. Those whose undertakings are devoid of all desires and purposes and whose actions have been burnt by the fire of knowledge, him the wise call a sage. Adi Shankaracharya walking through this ancient land, wearing orange, which signifies this fire of knowledge, having let go of any personal attachment, any personal agenda apart from serving dharma, exemplifies these wonderful words of the Vedas. Now, these examples are not just given for us to know about or feel proud about. These examples are given for us to emulate. And so, Adi Shankaracharya's timeless service of dharma, we too can emulate today. Not only did he do the greatest service to dharma, he also did the greatest service to our desh, to our country. Where dharma exists, there a united country exists. And where a united country exists, there all of us can undertake all of our endeavors, whether it is to study, whether it is to work, whether it is to run businesses. So our duty to Adi Shankaracharya and to these timeless words of the Bhagavad Gita is to serve dharma. This service to dharma we're doing today via the medium of YouTube videos. If you found it valuable, please do share it with someone who may also benefit from such wonderful insights from the Bhagavad Gita and from our shared Hindu history. If you feel so compelled, do subscribe to this channel. It's a small step for you, but goes a long way in our efforts to bring the message of Dharma to people all across the world. My name is Dhumatkar. I thank you once again for joining us. And if nothing else, please do apply the learnings of these videos in your own life. And if you'd like to learn more, please join us in the next video very soon. Namaste.